Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing a middle school update. This has been a highly requested video. Lots of people want to know how our first year of middle school is going here in our homeschool. So I'm going to give you a little update from me and from Isabella today. So, like I said, we are in our first year of middle school. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Abby and I have 4 kids that I homeschool. My youngest is in preschool, I have 2 in elementary school, and my oldest is in her first year of middle school, which means that it's also my first year home educating middle school. So it is one of the questions I get most often. How is middle school going for Bella? Have I made any changes to our plans? Another question I get a lot is how our Techless subscription is going, if we are enjoying our Techless cell phone. That's something that I shared a little bit about a few months back, and I'll link that video up here in the corner. But I do want to make you aware of some changes for the better that they have made to their cell phone, and I think it's even better now than it was before. I'm very excited about the positive changes that they've made, and we have really been enjoying our new Techless phone. So I want to tell you a little bit about that before I get into the rest of today's video. Wisephone by Techless has been such an answer to prayer for our family. This is something that feels like it fell right out of the sky for us. I had been looking for so long for a phone option for my oldest daughter as she entered middle school territory, attending youth group events and going to dance competitions and places where I wasn't going to be with her. I wanted her to have the opportunity to connect with me, text me, or call me if necessary, while also not being alone with access to explicit images or social media apps or anything of that sort that comes along with a smartphone. So Wisephone is a phone that is pure and simple. It is free from app addiction, with a phone that flat out skips all social media apps and digital compulsions. It's very simple. It's not something that she's constantly wanting to engage with because it is just so simple. It does everything she needs at 12 years old. It has texting, it has calling, it has an alarm clock, it has a stopwatch, all of those things that are necessary for this age to start to enable with responsibility. But then it also removes digital distractions so she can connect authentically, relate intentionally, and live more fully. One of my favorite components of the Wisephone is the location tracking. Their location tracking is precise, and rather than being done by Wi-Fi or data, they actually track via invisible encrypted text messages, and it's very accurate. So when she is at our house, her phone, when I log into my family portal, I see the exact street address of our home. When she is at her dance studio, I see the exact address of her dance studio rather than just a dot on a map in like a general area. So that's been really, it's given me such a peace of mind as a mom, and it's been very accurate every single time that I've opened the location services. And then I also love the family portal. So from the family portal, I can see every text message, every phone call. I can add or remove or block contacts from the family portal. I can turn certain components of her cell phone on or off. I can choose whether she's able to have text messaging or whether she's able to access the clock or anything like that. I can turn that on or off from my family portal as well as from her phone. So we've really enjoyed this so much. They have 3 phone options now. You don't have to do any of the downloading yourself any longer. They just sell the phone outright. Everything's installed on it, so you don't have to worry if you are not tech savvy, just like me. Then it comes ready to be handed straight to them. No other work on your part. And the 3 options, one of the 3 options John is actually considering using for his work phone as well, because it's just simple. And I think we are all just craving simple these days. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on how it's going. We are loving Techless. She's loving that she has a smartphone. She's able to use a pop socket. It's super fun. You know, she doesn't feel like she's got like a walkie-talkie or something when everybody else around her has a smartphone, like at youth group or at dance. It's been a really big blessing for us and a great blessing for her as well. And we are seeing that it is just enabling her with responsibility, and she's definitely proud to have something of her own to take care of, and we feel the peace of mind of this phone. So I just wanted to give a little update on how Techless was going for us. Thank you, Techless, as always, for sponsoring these videos, and I will link their website down below. So our experience with Techless has been wonderful from the start, and as you can tell, I'm still enjoying it just as much as I did when we first started using it. I have been pleasantly surprised that there have been no issues from when we started until now. I absolutely love the company. I really support them. I believe from the bottom of my heart that their intentions and the people who work there and who represent them are really good people and have really good hearts, which is just something that adds a bonus level of comfort for me with using this for my daughter and then for all of my other kids as they get older. So thank you so much, Techless, for sending that new Wisephone to Isabella. We have just been so thankful to have found your company and to start our journey into this big kid world with something that we really trust and feel so safe with. So, like I said, one of the questions I get a lot is just how is middle school going in general? And that's kind of hard to answer because to me it's going great. We haven't made any major changes. And same for Bella, she's enjoying it. There haven't been, from elementary school to middle school, it wasn't a huge leap. We implemented just a couple of new things. One was more independent work. 2 was volunteer hours, and 3 was a monthly character book report that I wanted her to start using the YWAM Heroes of History and Christian Heroes series. So I want to just kind of chit chat through a few of those things and let you know how it's going. So the independent work is going well. I think I need to be a little bit more helpful with her planning. She's just, she's never used a planner, so I haven't been great at helping her get going with that. A lot of people have been like, can you show me how you plan with her? And it's like, I will once I get a little bit more self-disciplined with sitting down with her. She's very good at knowing at the time in our day, during our homeschool day, when it's time for her to go do some independent work. She's loving the independence. She goes in her room, she opens the manual, she finds what she's supposed to read next, she sits down and she does her work. One issue though is that, in teacher's manuals, there's always some italicized stuff or teacher's notes, and she's skipped over that a few times, and we've had to go back like 5 or 6 lessons back, and I'm like, okay, you need to read this though. I know you thought this was for this age group, but it is a book that I want you to read as well. So that's a me issue and not a her issue. Like I said, it's our first experience with middle school, so I'm learning as I go as well, but I do need to hold myself to the whole inspect what you expect thing. She has always just been such a good student and such an agreeable child that it's easy for me to just kind of let things slip through the cracks because I don't feel an urgency to be checking her work. And so as far as independent work goes, that's the only issue, is that I need to make sure I'm reading the teacher's guides and setting her up for success. But as far as her self-discipline and her motivation to get things done, she's doing great. She's loving the book reports, those little written narrations of the different heroes of history that she's doing every month. She has loved Thomas Edison to the point where I am going to take her to the Edison and Ford Winter Estate here in Florida because she cannot. She's kind of like me when it comes to Civil War or Revolution, American Revolution history. Like if you accidentally get me started talking about it, I can't stop. If something reminds her of Thomas Edison, she is just like, she cannot stop with Thomas Edison. So I'm like, all right, we need to go visit the Edison and Ford Winter Estate. We need to get this out of your system. We got to move on. So she's really, I would say, of all of the different heroes of history and Christian heroes, she really loved Lottie Moon. She really loved Thomas Edison, and she really liked Laura Ingalls, the Laura Ingalls Wilder book as well. So next she is doing, right now she is reading Jim Elliot, and so that she wants to read both of their books back to back, and then we're going to watch End of the Spear. I told her about that movie and how impactful it was, so I said, if you read these 2 books back to back, then we can watch the movie, so she's excited about that. So what I did ask her was, I wanted to know, I kind of wanted to evaluate middle school as I was getting questions from you guys, and so I decided to assign her a little questionnaire. I wanted to know what are 3 things that she misses about elementary school, because we don't always have to abandon everything when we move into a new season of life. So I wanted to see how I could rework some things that she was missing into our schedule. I wanted to know what 3 things she was really loving about middle school, and I wanted to know if there were 3 things that she wanted to work on to be prepared for high school. And so she gave me all of her answers were completely different than I was expecting. I was not expecting any of her answers. So I will share those answers with you guys today, so it'll give you a little bit more of an idea of where she's at right now. So the 3 things that she misses about elementary school, number 1 was 5 in a row, and that kind of broke my heart because she seems indifferent to it when we're doing it, but now I realize that she really does miss that time. So I'm gonna try to bring her in a little bit more when I do the mini units from their website. From the manual is very much like 5 to 10 years old, but the mini units include a beyond 5 in a row extension to bring older students in. It's like a beyond 5 in a row extension, and they have a before 5 in a row extension, so you can do it from ages like 2 to 14. So every now and then when we do a mini unit, I want to make sure I bring her into the fold. So we're going to be doing one this month, and I'm excited to bring her in on that. The second thing she said she misses about elementary school was Yellow Spot Sun. She loves Yellow Spot Sun art lessons, which was funny because we haven't abandoned those at all, like because she's in middle school. I just have not been good at being consistent with art this year, so that was more of like a wake-up call for me. But it's cute to think that when she thinks of elementary school, when she thinks of her fondest memories, she thinks about art. So I'm happy that that was one of her answers, because art has never been something I've been great at, so I was glad that the program that we found was something that she loved. And then the other thing she really loved about elementary school, she said, was her her science journals from Apologia. And that's so classic Isabella. She's a very bookwork, you know, academically motivated kid. So it was funny to me that something that I would consider busy work was something that she really, really enjoyed. That helped me gauge with next year when she starts the 7th grade science with Apologia, and it's more independent than the science we're doing now, that she will like the busy work aspect. So I want to make sure that I include that when I bring that in. So those were the 3 things she said she missed about elementary school and she wants to bring into middle school. The 3 things that she's loving about middle school, no surprise, number 1 was youth group. That's a no-brainer. Youth group has been so good for her. It's been a fun season to kind of watch her come out of her shell and to just discover, you know, this new season of life and just have a blast doing it. Thankfully, John and I serve in the youth group, and so I really have no concerns with, you know, her interactions, and, you know, it's been a sweet season to watch from a distance, because he and I work with the high schoolers specifically to give her a little space. But we've gotten to know the leaders of the youth group, and we've gotten to know the students in the youth group, and I'm just so happy for her, genuinely so happy for her that she is loving that so much. The second thing she really loves about middle school is the independent work, and I knew it would be good for her. Even though she loves her siblings and she always wants to include everyone, and she wants to make sure that everybody has the same sized piece of cake or nobody feels left out, and she always wants to gather everyone together to do projects and art things together, the independent work has been really good for her. So I'm happy that she's enjoying that. She is very proud of her work. Bella is the kind of kid who feels very, what's the right phrase I want to use? Just responsibility and accomplishments are just something that really motivates her and makes her soar. And so having like soar like fly, like makes her really fly. And so that's been really good for her, and I'm glad she's loving it, because there was a part of me that was wondering if she would feel dismissed from our table and kind of left out when she was doing some independent work. It's not much every day, just a little. but I'm so glad that she's loving it and she feels just very, I don't know, she's feeling big, you know, she's feeling older. The third thing she loves about middle school is the book reports. She is loving reading about these different heroes of history every month, and that has been a really fun enrichment activity that we've added to her curriculum, you know, in her different studies, and it's been really good for her. She's really been loving that. Something that I've considered, because she has talked about loving these stories so much, is bringing in, I think it's called Lamplighters. It's been something that I've looked at for a while, and I think I might make the investment into the Lamplighters books for her. If you have experience with those books, let me know some of your favorite titles down below, because there's a lot of them and I don't know where to start. Okay, and then the question that I really wanted her to think about was the 3 things that she wanted to accomplish in middle school to prepare for high school. Bella has big goals and big dreams, and of course when she was younger, I kind of just like, you know, oh yeah, of course you can be whatever you want to be. But as she gets older, I'm seeing the passions that are really sticking, and I'm seeing her personality develop, and I'm like, you know what, these are real things that she really wants, and I really think she may accomplish if she continues to want this enough. As far as like, you know, higher education and career stuff and just things she wants in the future. And so I've wanted to use middle school as a launching pad to her starting to take control of her future. And while what she wants may change, I think just having this opportunity to explore and to make plans and to prepare and to realize that there is life outside of her parents' house one day has been or will be good for her. And so the 3 things she said she wants to accomplish in middle school really surprised me. I was really thinking she was gonna say all like academic things. The one thing that I didn't know was a goal of hers that she said, the first thing, and it took me back, like I was shocked. The first thing she said is she wants to read the whole Bible all the way through before she starts high school, because she wants to be able to serve and she wants to know everything in the Bible for herself. I'm very proud of her. I think that's a great goal. The second thing she said she wanted to do is she wants to be ready to start biology her 9th grade year of high school. So she wants to accomplish as much of the science, the prerequisites necessary to do biology in high school right off the bat. That makes a lot of sense. She's an animal studies kind of girl. That's what she wants to do. And so I told her, she asked me what her high school course load would look like if she wanted to you know, work toward being a veterinarian or a vet tech or whatever. And I said, well, you're definitely gonna need to take biology. And so right off the bat, she was like, what do I need to do in middle school to be able to start biology right away? And so she wants to be prepared to start biology. And then the third thing she wants to do is she wants to fit volunteering in her schedule more, volunteer in different capacities, because she wants to start working at the Humane Society. That's something that she's wanted. She has equally wanted, she wanted to make company, dance company. She was on junior company for a couple of years. She wanted to make company. She wanted to get a solo. And so that was as time consuming as the requirements at the Humane Society were. And so we very much, and it was hard for her, we very much left it up to her to make the decision on how she was gonna fit that in and what she was gonna do. And she in a very mature way, came up to John and I recently and told us that she feels like since she has just made that goal of making company and getting a solo, that she needs to keep her focus there right now. And as time goes on, hopefully she'll be able to find the time to add in the training courses to volunteer at our Humane Society. The training courses take a certain amount of time for what she wants to do. And she just knew that she couldn't balance youth group, dance, and that at the same time. So in the summer, we're gonna start looking into that. I was really proud of her. We were gonna drive her where she wanted to go and do what she wanted to do, and let her feel it out for herself. But I was personally very relieved that she came to that consensus before she felt tired and exhausted because I didn't want to be doing all that driving anyway. So she wants to fit that in. Now, volunteering is something, like I said, that we have asked of her for middle school. 10 hours a semester, that's it, or 10 hours a term, that's it, very simple. So the places that she has fit that in right now is volunteering to help the younger students in the younger dance classes, which is something that the teacher asks of the company dancers anyway, is kind of giving back to the younger classes. So volunteering in the younger classes when it's her week to volunteer. She is on staff in the children's ministry at our church, which has been a huge blessing for her as well. And then John, with his business, does a lot of serving our community, giving back to our community. Obviously, most small businesses have something they do as far as tax write-offs and things like that. So she has been helping with doing the shopping or doing the delivery of certain items. And that's how she's been getting her volunteer hours. But she has gotten far more than 10 volunteer hours a term, the last 2 terms now that we've completed, just because of simple things that are on her schedule like dance and church already. So that is how middle school is going, and that is also how Techless is going for us. I'm very excited about Techless. If I didn't mention earlier, I can't recall if I did or not, John is going to be switching to that third option for Techless very shortly. For his personal line, he can't for his business line, which makes sense, but he can shut his business line off at certain hours. He just feels overwhelmed having the business line and a personal line, and he just doesn't want. John is not somebody who loves social media or who loves all the input all the time. He has to have it for work. Obviously, social media drives small business a lot of time, but when it's over for him at the end of the day, and he just doesn't want all that input. And so I think it's going to be really cool that he is going to be using their Wisephone as well. So that's how it's all going. Thank you, Techless, for working with me and partnering with me for today's video, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.